Here goes nothing. Alright, let's see if this baby is streaming right. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Do I hear anything? I don't hear anything. Testing, testing. Let's shoot the gun. Oh yeah. Alright, I guess it's good. I don't know, you guys tell me if it's not good. Anyway, Game Cooker US Rocks VR here. How y'all doing? Happy Thanksgiving week. Don't forget to be thankful for all the good things you have. Forget about all the bad things you have. Because, you know, bad things are just going to happen in life. No way to avoid it. I mean, unless you, like, box yourself in. But even then, there's no guarantees that life will be peachy. So, take the good that you have and just thank God for it. And do whatever you can to do good in the world and help others. You know what I mean? We're not going to change the world through government. We've already seen what too much government power has done in the past, and I don't know why people just choose to repeat the foolishness. Boy, these graphics look pretty bad. I think it might be because of my TV, maybe. I got the sharpness turned up or something. Tell me how it looks to you all. But I'm going to turn down the sharpness here, because I think that's what's happening here. Come on. It's my other TV is coming on because of the... It's funny how the remote controls for two different TVs control each other, and it's very annoying. Very annoying. Alright, so let's see here. Oh, wrong one. Picture mode. Let's see. Sharpness is only up to 30. Interesting. Oh yeah, I think it was definitely the TV. I mean, it does look good to a certain extent, but once you put it up too high, it just looks really stupid. There you go. Now it looks better. I don't know what it looks like on screen. The game is a little blurry though, huh? So, anyway, come join the hunt. See if you can join the stream. If not, sorry about that. I don't have. I have my other two computers doing something, so I can't. I can't really connect to test it. So you all are going to be my test subject. Oh, I got the chat on slow motion. Sorry about that. Because I've been getting, you know, spammers lately. Just spamming the, you know, pornography stuff. Ugh, there's a lot of treble in these headphones. Ugh. Kind of hurts. Anyway, I only got like an hour and a half, so sorry about that. And please forgive me for not streaming Primal more. It looks like I lost 5 subscribers, which, you know, I'm sad about. Yeah, well, you know, if I had a steady stream of revenue coming in here, I could commit more to the channel, you know what I'm saying? But it's very difficult, you know, especially when, like, you know, people in your family are not really like on board with the whole streaming thing. So it's kind of like hard to justify to them, oh, it's fine, you know, because they don't want to hear that it's good for your mental health, or they don't want to hear that it's just, you know, entertainment or whatever. They just look at it and say, you're wasting time, you're not making any money, you know. And I understand that I'm not, like, you know, haven't really, like, probably tried super hard to make any kind of, like, super unique content or anything like that, which I totally respect. The people in the community who apparently have the time to do that and have the wits to do that. You know, I'm certainly not, I'm not jealous or anything. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I have a very real life situation I got to deal with here, and it's kind of difficult to juggle, you know what I'm saying? I got kids, I got, you know, the wife to deal with, and my mental health to deal with, my migraines to deal with. So it's a challenging situation, to say the least. So, you know, if you guys like the videos or share the videos, you know, you can send me a, I don't even know what I have on here. Super thanks. And you guys let me know. I mean, another thing, when I put up surveys, on my YouTube channel, well, first of all, put on notifications so that whenever I do make a video, you know, whenever I do make a video, you can at least check it out. You know, I'll try to put surveys up to ask you guys questions. You know, because, hey, what's up, Perkies? Happy Thanksgiving. You know, let me know what times of the day, you know, Eastern Standard Time now, okay? You have to go by my time zone, Eastern Standard Time. Let me know what time of the days are best for me to stream so that you guys can either watch the videos or hop on the server. Because I got people from Europe, from Australia, from the United States, Canada, you know what I mean? So Brazil or whatever down in South America, all over the place. So it's like, it's kind of hard for me to cater to everybody, you know? Because I don't live in, you know, 6 time zones. So, yeah. So that's another challenging thing as well. I would imagine that probably catering to the probably the European Union time zone would be best, because, you know, they're like 6 hours ahead of me, and probably 6 or 8 hours behind, or yeah, Australia. Anyway, wow, that's a lot of these guys. was coming from. Sucker. Okay, that was interesting. I don't know if I should keep harvesting. Now I am streaming am playing from the same server, so the game could very well crash, and that will be it. The game will be lost. I mean, I can still leave the stream running, and then I'll have to restart the game though, and everybody will lose their place. But that's beyond my control, so I apologize. What do we got here? Something up on top here? So come join in the hunt if you can. I got till about 11:30 my time, so. This is a really odd place to have a chest. Where the heck is it? In a tree here? Oh, over here. That's a really weird spot, ain't it? Sorry, the weather's up and down, so my sniffles are sniffling. Everybody's doing alright. Thank God. You know, surviving, man, in this, I don't know, man. Crazy political climate we're in. It just amazes me how people let the media just, I don't know, man. They listen to the media. That's just it. It's just very strange. Like the news, like they look at the news as if it's some kind of like accurate truth. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing like if you say, "Oh, you know, there's an accident on I-82." You know what I mean? Interstate 82 at the corner of, 82 and Market Street or whatever the case is. And here it is. We're at the scene of the crime, you know? Or, you know, um, there was a shooting somewhere and they're at the scene of the crime. I mean, that's all good, you know, but all this, like, but the news is like, that's like the minority. Like, that's the small percentage of the news now, you know what I mean? Like before, when I was growing up, they reported on that kind of stuff, plus they also covered good things that were happening in the community, right? Like a church was doing this particular function, or doing this kind of fundraiser, or they were having a soup kitchen here, or you know, helping kids to learn how to read. I mean, there was a big emphasis on also highlighting the good things that are happening in society. But all the media is today is just like a cesspool of negativity. You know, like it's all political driven, and all they do is call people racist, misogynists, homophobes, transphobes. You know what I'm saying? It's like Nazis, fascists, which is like it's like just a bunch of foolishness, really, is all it is. You know what I'm saying? News is supposed to be something that you present to someone, and then they make the choice of what they're going to think about it. But you have to present all the facts, right? And not put your own opinion in it, right? You don't label somebody a fascist simply based on the definition that you believe what a fascist is, right? Because a fascist, number one, fascist doesn't equal Nazi, right? But Nazi equals fascist. Now you might say, well, doesn't that mean that they're the same thing? No, right? So, like, in other words, motor vehicle equals car equals truck, right? Truck equals motor vehicle, car equals motor vehicle. But car doesn't equal truck, even though they're both motor vehicles. You see what I'm saying? So, it's not the same thing. Like, you know, Nazis may have used a form of fascism in their government. But all fascists are not Nazis. You know what I'm saying? And again, the definition of fascism nowadays is very distorted and inaccurate, really. I mean, to a certain extent. Because, I mean, if you want to go by the definition of fascism, that's what the left is doing, right? They're the ones that are using corporations to control people, right? The corporations are working with the political system to cut off free speech, to censor people, to cancel people, I mean, banks are literally telling people they can't bank at their bank because of something they said or their personal beliefs. Right? That's fascism. You know what I'm saying? Because the government just sits back there and lets it happen. Like that should be illegal. Right? The government should not be promoting the stifling of any free speech. It doesn't matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's fascism, and the left is using fascism, but yet they're calling everyone else a fascist. And they claim to be the anti-fascist. But yet they're doing, and then they call everybody Nazis, yet they're using all the tactics that Nazis used, right? By marginalizing other groups, by driving hate and contempt for other groups. You know what I mean? They're the ones who are driving the hate. Right? It's not conservatives that are out there saying, you know, you can't have your freedom to do what you want, or you can't have the freedom to say what you want. Right? Conservatives are generally like, you know, you do you, I do me, and let's not bother each other and we'll all be fine. You know what I mean? That's it. That's what you live, that's how you live in a peaceful society. But when you polarize two groups, you're creating tension that doesn't need to be there. So I don't know why this isn't obvious to everyone. Like, it's just strange. And all this does is prove, dare I say, what the Bible has been saying for thousands of years. Is that there will be a religious political system, and the left is a religious system. Right? They're a pantheistic system. Now, some in there might say they're atheists and all that, but there's no atheist. You're worshiping something, right? Whether it's the creation or the earth, you're worshiping something, or yourself, right? So, in the name of saving humanity, they're kind of forcing us to ignore our freedom, ignore our freedom of individuality, ignore our free speech, ignore our religious beliefs, right? Last I read in the Bible, there's only one God, and that's Jesus Christ, right? Not the earth. The earth is not God, you know? The earth is going to be destroyed no matter what. Humans are not going to save the planet, no matter how hard they try. And the Bible says that things aren't going to get better in the world. It says that as time goes on, things are going to get worse. Okay? So humans are not going to fix what the problem that they think is here, right? Because the underlying problem is not climate change, it's not the pandemic, it's not even the wars, it's sin, right? Sin is the problem that we have in the world. Now, there's a lot of groups that are following this climate doomsday thing who are religious, mainly, highly Catholic driven, believe it or not. So the left and the papacy or Catholicism, they're one. They're together because they preach the same message. So this is a religious, political thing going on here. Even though the people are kind of like ignorant of the fact of that because they think, you know, that religious people are bad, but yet they're teaming up with a very religious system, right, in the papacy. So, and the Bible says that, eventually the people who don't want to comply with this whole globalist movement, uh, anti-climate change movement, are not going to be able to buy or sell, and then eventually they'll get imprisoned, and then eventually there'll be a death decree that's going to fall. And soon after the death decree falls, then the plagues are going to fall. And by that time, it'll be too late to change anything. Everybody will just be stuck in stone where they're at, in their belief in God or not. So, and that's all in Revelation. Read it. Read The Great Controversy, too. I'm telling you, read that book. Don't let you prejudiced or against religion or spiritual things or whatever the case is. Just read it. Read it as a book. Alright? You don't have to read it as a religious book. Just read it as a historical book because there's a lot of history in it. So, it's very historically accurate. So, read it. I guarantee you, once you start reading it, if you don't just put it down after the first paragraph, read it. Read like the first chapter. I guarantee you, most of you will want to continue reading it. You know what I mean? And just think about what you're reading, right? Don't worry about anything else that's going on in your life. Like, don't worry about the things that you love, the things that you hate, the things that just block out this world for once, right? And just meditate on what the book says, okay? And what's been happening over history. I know it's very hard to believe in an afterlife or a heaven or God or whatever. It's very difficult now. I totally understand that. Especially if you've been drilled in school over and over and over about, evolution and all this other garbage that is just theory. Just remember, it's just theory. You know what I'm saying? Like I just told my kids, I said, look, you can believe that nothing created everything, because that's really all they teach now, because that's the only explanation they have. Alright, nothing created everything, right? Just think about that for a second. Forget about them saying, oh, well, nothing is really something. That's just bullcrap. It's either something or nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, it can't be both. And that's what drives me mad with the whole science thing. And I love science. But if you can believe that nothing created something, then you can surely believe that God created everything. Right? That a someone created something. Because when you go out there and I say, hey, see that car? You know how that was made? No, well, it was made at a factory. People put it together, machines put it together. No, wrong. Nothing made that car. I mean, you'd call me absolutely crazy. Or if I said, who made that chair? It wasn't Bob, it was nothing. Nothing made that chair. Not Bob, because, Bobs can't make a chair. Living things can't make anything, but nothingness can. So, I mean, this is the thing. It's like, why are people so hostile to the notion of God when they'll sit there and feed me a bunch of bull crap about how nothing made everything. How just, even if you say an anomaly happened, like an anomaly appeared, well, that's the same thing as saying nothing, because you can't explain where the anomaly came from. You can't even prove there was an anomaly, right? Because that's just theory. Again, it's not fact. So that's why it's like people that talk to me about these issues, it's like, look, let's talk logically. Let's not talk nonsense. You want to feed me scientific jargon? Fine, right? I'm willing to look at math. I'm willing to look at statistics as long as they're not cherry picked. You know, I'm willing to look at chemical equations, but don't sit here and argue with me using nonsense. It's not going to work with me, and it shouldn't work with anybody else. People need to step up and say, stop with the foolishness. Because they teach all that in school as if it were fact. They don't say, yeah, in some textbooks, you might read something like, we think this is how it happened, but a lot of times you don't really see that, right? When you read it, you just read something like, our solar system started out as um, uh, uh, a nebula of gas and dust, or whatever they want to say, and the dust, uh, the rock and dust coalesced together, and for some strange reason started spinning from a central point, which then started spiraling the whole dust cloud, um, where all the other planets now had little clumps that came together and they started spinning, and that's how you got all the planets and the sun and everything else, even though right, based on physics, that just can't happen, right? That's not how it happens. We know that. Okay, so and even if it did happen that way, there's a whole lot of problems with it, right? So there's just a ton of problems with it, because how did the Earth get here with plants, trees, animals, bacteria, viruses, fungus? You know what I'm saying? And 70% water on the surface. 70% water on the surface. It's like, I mean, that's pretty extraordinary. Um, Even though, again, they try to downplay it. I saw in some, I used to watch all the science programs on TV, and they make it say, oh, if you put all the water together, uh, this is what it looks like. And they show like this like water sphere kind of floating outside of the Earth a little bit, so you can see like a comparison in size, right? So it doesn't look like as much. But trust me, there's a lot of water on the surface of this Earth. I mean, think about how deep some places of the Earth, of the oceans are, right? Um, let me know if you guys can get on or can't get on. What's up, Becco? I mean, you're talking about like the Marianas Trench, right? I mean, isn't that like almost like 10,000 feet deep or something? Ridiculous. And maybe I'm even wrong. Maybe it's deeper. So it's like you're talking about 2 miles deep in some places. I mean, that is a lot of water. That is not insignificant. And that doesn't count the water that's in the crust, right? That doesn't count the water that's underneath us. Because there's a lot of water in the crust and going under the flowing through the crust. That's just what we see on the surface. And then of course you got water vapor in the air. So not sure really how much that makes up, but so it's just, I mean, if this planet was like molten lava in the beginning. I hear a Rex. All that water would have evaporated into space. Right, I mean, even if you said it came here by comets, which is kind of dumb too, because it's just, again, it would be like, as soon as it hit the Earth, it would just vaporize, you know what I'm saying? I'm in a precarious situation here. Ooh, crap. He saw me already. Oh, he stopped over there. Oh my god, going uphill is like ridiculous. Yikes. Man. I'm getting some good shots off today. Anyway. Whatever. Just read The Great Controversy. And there's another book you can read too called The Evolution Cruncher. And don't worry about what you read on Google about The Great Controversy or The Evolution Cruncher. You're going to get, of course, there's going to be a lot of negatives because there's people always campaigning so that you don't have your eyes open to any truth. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said just put aside your prejudice, your whatever preconceived ideas. Open your mind. It might change you forever. And in the end, it might save you. Because when Jesus comes back, you don't want to be on the outside looking up and seeing you missed out. I mean, that's going to be the most extraordinary time because people are going to be like, oh my God, there really is a God. And the only thought that they have in their minds is they're lost forever. Because they chose not to believe. And that's very sad. Jesus has done all he can to save every human being. I mean, there really isn't much more he could have done, you know? He gave us the Bible. He talked with the prophets. Jesus came and died for our sins. Jesus came and talked to the people. I mean, there's just so many. He speaks to our hearts in so many different ways. I mean, he's talking to you through me, and I'm nobody worth talking through. You know what I'm saying? Come on, good grief. I'm not a good example of anything good, you know? But Jesus chose to save me anyway. Good grief, how many shots is it gonna take? Ah, oh, got one. Come here, boy. I forgot I had the bow. Well, he's taking a lot of... Yeah. Vertebrae. Oop, miss. Okay. Anyway, make sure this Thanksgiving you get out and do something good. You know? Feed a homeless person. Help a homeless person. Give a blanket. Help a friend in need. Give something to someone that they need. You know? Give a Thanksgiving turkey to somebody who you think may not be able to afford it. You know? Speak kind words to people. Uplift. Bring happiness to someone. You know, being thankful, a lot of times we forget, is not just simply saying thank you. You know, we're supposed to, and I'm preaching to myself. Wow, another one. We're supposed to show our thanks really by returning the thing that we appreciate, you know what I mean? As the movie says, pay it forward, right? That was a good, you know, a good premise for a movie, you know? Unfortunately, it's a secular one, but whatever. We should never do good for selfish reasons, you know. We should always do good because we care, because we love, you know. That's why Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself, and also love your enemy. So what do we got here now? Wow, man. Taking them down quick today, huh? I mean, for me. Hey, Andrew. What's up? Does anybody know if you can connect to the server or not? I wasn't able to confirm. Oh, no problem, Andrew. I'm just, you know, just stating what I feel, you know. What I know, I guess you could say. Well, I'm not sure there's going to be a lot of wrecks coming up over here, so maybe we should start working backwards. But it would have been a really good thing to have, I don't know, some kind of a transport system in this game. Well, Andrew, you know, those, it's that time, you know. We live in times that are very crucial, and it's the time to be silent has ended. I mean, I used to be scared to say things and whatnot, but you know, if you don't say anything, then you're just as guilty of saying something that's wrong. You know what I mean? Because you have to put something out there that contrasts the error. You know, the truth has to, when you speak truth, it exposes error, right? So, otherwise people just see error as truth, you know, or the status quo, or the common paradigm, you know. You know, like kids grow up in school, right? I'm not going to get back into it, but they grow up in school and they hear this from their teacher and that from their teacher. And, you know, they're trusting that the teachers are telling them the truth, right? Because why would they, in their minds, why would they think that the teacher would be lying to them, you know? And, but unfortunately, that's the problem, right? The young people are gullible. If something just sounds good, then they equate it to being good, you know? So, and that works for adults too in some sense. If something sounds logical, you know, is put into a logical order, then they see that as being truth. Just because it seems like, you know, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 order, you know. But that's not how it works. It's not that simple. It seems logical because there's the other information is left out, right? Like that's the whole problem with teaching evolution, right? Because they cherry pick data, they ignore data, right? And when they see some kind of like strange thing that's contradicting, they just automatically scrap what they said and say, "Oh, it's because of this." Right? Even though that thing that they said it's because of this now doesn't fit the rest, because you can't just like have something like now invade, right, in the middle of your theory and cut it in two, right? Because the theory has to kind of flow, right? Like I told you, a logical order. So when something kind of comes in and blows a hole in it there, and now you say, oh, that's because of something else, well, that now cuts off the logical flow, right? So, and 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 the problem is there's a lot of holes. You know, there's a whole lot of holes. But they don't usually talk about those things, right? What they'll do is they'll teach that thing that kind of blew a hole in the theory somewhere else, right? And then they'll still teach this theory as it's logically flowing, even though there's a hole blown in it. You see, they'll ignore the hole and just kind of like say it keeps flowing, even though there's many holes blown in the theory. So they're guilty of omission, right? They're guilty of omission, leaving out vital information so that people can make informed choices. And he's going real fast. He's coming in too close. Gotta move that gun fast. So anyway, back to Thanksgiving. Um, yeah, I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time off. I don't know if everybody celebrates Thanksgiving in the world, but we do in America. I mean, the they demonize everything. The left, you know, they demonize Thanksgiving. They demonize, you know, everything. Thanksgiving is a racist holiday now. Columbus Day, racist holiday. I mean, it's just it's sick and it's sad, you know, because like I, personally, I could care less about like how Thanksgiving started. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care. It's not really a religious holiday, so I don't care, right? So, but the concept of just giving thanks for what you have is a good thing, right? And everybody should have that, you know? It's not like we sit by a campfire at home and go, "Oh, here, listen, kids, this is how Thanksgiving started." You know, it's like I don't think we've done that for I don't know decades and decades and decades. I mean, if they ever, I mean, I'm sure maybe in the beginning people did that, but as a tradition, but we never really did that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we kind of got it taught in school a little bit about the origin of Thanksgiving or whatever, um, but you know, of course, the left wants to destroy anything that alludes to anything that promotes unity, right? So the story we got with Thanksgiving was that the Indians and the settlers got together and they had a, Thanksgiving meal, right, together. They had a bond or a truce, you know what I mean, or something. So it was a symbol of unity, of getting together, of putting aside differences and all that stuff. So again, I don't really care what the original story is if that's not accurate, but that's my concept, right? So you can't tell me what Thanksgiving means to me, right? You can't even tell me what Christmas means to me, right? Now, as a Christian, we remember Christ, right? Uh, Even though I know he wasn't born then, but that's not the point. The point is that there's a rainbow. Why did God put the rainbow in the sky? To remind us he wasn't going to destroy the earth by water anymore. Anyway, so again, people can't tell me what Thanksgiving means to me. They can't tell me what Christmas means to me. You too, Andrew. Have a great Thanksgiving. Right? So this is the problem that we have when we're having discussions nowadays. Right? The left wants to erase history. Right? They want to erase tradition in some respects, although they want to keep this new tradition. They want to create this new tradition, right? But that's another story. Um, when we can't just sit down and say, look, you believe what you believe, I believe what I believe, but let's get along, right? You don't even have to love me, but let's just get along. You don't bother me, I don't bother you, and we're all good. We're at peace, right? And this is what our society was kind of like until it became overly politicized. Again, I know from reading the Bible why things are happening today. Okay, I'm not totally surprised, right? I just didn't realize the impact that social media was going to have because I did not foresee that coming 20 years ago, right? Or 25 years ago, right? So we didn't really understand how much of an impact the internet was going to have, right? So now we do, right? Um, so this is why it's very important that we should be standing up for freedom of individuality, right? Like I might sit here and say, look, you believe in Jesus, right? Because he wants to save you, right? He died for you. You know, you're a sinner just like me, and he'll forgive you, you know, and he'll help you be a better person. I could say all that, but you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to accept that. But we can still love each other, or at least not hate each other because of that, right? Because you should recognize that I am telling you that because I care about you, right? And the fact that you reject what I'm saying, and I'm okay with that on the surface, I'm not okay with that in my heart, but I'm okay with that on the surface, is because I care about you, right? And you should just let me preach for the same reason that I care about you when you reject me or what I'm saying, right? So, and we don't have to hang out. We don't even have to be friends. But I can respect you and you can respect me. I mean, see, this is where we got away from now. Right? Now we're in this like thing where you believe what I tell you or else. Right? You follow this or else. And that's not coming from the religious side, at least the true religious people, right? the papacy surely is on board with forcing you to accept Catholicism. But again, I'm not going to get into that. But that's why they're siding with the climate change movement, because they're, number one, they're the ones who formed this thing through the Jesuits. But again, that's for another day. But they're the same, really. They're two of the same movements, right? So one is just kind of hiding behind the politics. The other one is behind a religious power. So, but now in today's climate, it's like, you can't even say something that's simple, right? Like you can't even say that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. I mean, that's just fundamental to nature, male and female. Like we see it in nature, right? Male and female. There isn't like a mix. And just because some animals practice what we would call homosexuality doesn't change the male and female concept. A lot of times animals, first of all, we can't put animals on the same plane as us, right? They're lower than us in many different respects. Okay? They may not always be lower than us in strength, but in mental capacity, they're lower. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when a dog is horny, right? I use this as a perfect example. When a dog is horny, right, and he's humping your leg, does that mean that he's gay? You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you put a female dog in a room, is he gonna hump your leg or is he gonna go after the female dog? You know what I'm saying? So you can't gauge animals in the wild, like, to prove your point of like this, like, multi-gender thing or whatever the case is, or even homo or not homo, right? So when animals get extremely horny, we call it they get in heat, right? They get in heat. So it's like an uncontrollable kind of urge to procreate. Okay, now this does happen in humans sometimes when you have a very strong libido, right? A high sex drive, right? There's some people that have a very high speed, high impact, like crazy sex drive. And that could attribute to some people committing rape. I'm just saying, I'm not using data here, but I'm just saying it could be the reason why some people are overly sexual, right? Some men, they just have to have sex with a woman every day, a new woman. Same thing with a woman. They have strong sex drives too, some of them. And they just have to get a man every day. And if they can't fulfill that, sometimes they'll go with another woman, or a man will go with another man. I mean, they just don't care. They just need to, you know what I mean? Get that release. So, but with humans, we kind of label everything and we put everything in the context, whereas an animal does not. Right? They'll hump a tree. They don't care. They'll hump your leg. Right? A male horse will just hump another male horse. Right? They don't care. They have to relieve themselves. So we can't put ourselves down to that level to say that we can't control ourselves. Right? We can't put things in the proper context. Right? But the whole reason why they brought this whole transgender, multi-gender thing it was really, in my opinion, to destigmatize homosexuality and lesbianism, right? Because when somebody was a homosexual, they were always kind of looked down upon as like, oh God, he's a homo, like. And there was really no way for them to get out of that, right? And I feel for them. Whatever, you be whatever you want to be. You want to be a homosexual? That's whatever. That's your choice. You know. Um, but with this multi-gender thing, now it's just normalizing everything, right? Like to show that it's not unusual, right? So it's to take it away from, you know, further away from being sinful. You know what I'm saying? So that if you criticize it, now they can hide behind science, right? Or psychology. You know, they hide behind science and say, you can't criticize me. You can't, you know, I can't help the way I am. But to me, that's even worse to say that, because it kind of takes responsibility away from you as a person. You know, like a person can't help that they're a man or a woman, right? That's just how you were born. But when you start putting things in the context of I can't help it, you know, it's just who I am, then that takes society into like a whole bunch of other directions. You know, like now there's like groups of pedophiles trying to say, oh, you know, we should have a right to be a pedophile. You know, we're attracted to children. You know what I mean? What do they call that? Minor attracted people or something like that. MAPs. You know, it's like, are we really going there? Like now? See, this is the problem when you hide behind, I can't help it. Right? I can't help myself. I was born this way. When you start labeling everything as such, then it takes us down this very dark road of normalizing things that are just not good for society. You know what I mean? There has to be a line drawn somewhere. You know, it just can't be like the society of just anything goes, you know? But it looks like that's where we're heading. I gotta look at the time here. Alright, I got at least a half hour left. Let's see if we can get some more wrecks here. I dropped my gun by accident. Where is he? Oh, goodness. Late on the trigger. Not really good shooting from slopes. It's actually working. So I was playing New World for the last 2 days. I did stream it. I mean, the game could have been. It wasn't what I was expecting it to be. Let me put it that way. I mean, it's very like I don't know. Maybe they meant for it to be on the Amazon streaming service. Like I guess they kind of meant for it to be streamed through that, as well as PC and whatever else you can play it on. It's a lot of it is very old school kind of feeling. Like I mean, I was really expecting it to be like really modernized, like super modernized. I mean, I am kind of like getting more into it now, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it, at least at this point, because I'm not at the end game stuff, but, and I don't do PvP, so yeah, I can't really speak on that, and maybe that's where people enjoy it more, I don't know. I just have a problem with PvP in games because it's just not balanced. Like, I don't know, it's like there should never be a situation where you hop into a PvP game, right, and you jump in and you start running out somewhere and then boom, you're dead. Like, that should never happen in any PvP game. You know? Because that's going to turn a lot of people off. I mean, right off the get-go. I was gonna run past him. Crap. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, I know people will say, "Oh, get good, get good." You know, well, you know, it's just I'd rather invest a lot of my time in an MMO or co-op RPG or something. I mean, than just constantly do like maps just over and over and over, you know, where you kill a couple people, you die, you have to wait, kill a couple people, die, have to wait. I mean, just to get, you have to just do that over and over and over just to get, you know, just to get upgrades or whatever, you know. And I always say the person that plays the most is the one that's probably going to be the best because they're the ones who are going to have all the stuff. You know, somebody who can only get on like an hour a day, maybe, is not going to be able to do it, you know? So they're really catered towards people who have a lot of time on their hands, who are popular streamers who can afford to, I mean, I could probably actually be one to get on for hours at a time and maybe be able to build myself up. And maybe I'll do that someday if you guys can convince me to, you know, to get into a game. I'd be happy to, you know, go ahead and do that. Maybe. The game's got to be good looking, though. I don't want some chalk-looking thing. Or a cartoony-looking game. See, like this game probably would be okay as a PvP as long as you take out the sniper rifles, right? Like this game would be good if it was all close combat weapons, you know, like a shotgun or a handgun or an axe. Um, you know, nothing that you can't use a scope. In other words, no 55 caliber or no 50 caliber. You know, no rifle scopes. Like this could probably work because it's not easy to run. It's not easy to move. There's no jump. I mean, that's one thing I really hate in those PvP games is people just jumping around like a bunny rabbit. They're just doing this and you're trying to hit them and it's like, oh my goodness. Stop it already. I mean, I used to hate that. I mean, that was one of the things that turned me off. It's just the constant jumping around that people did. It was like so ridiculous. You know what I mean? But again, that's just my opinion. My opinion. I think I would probably be maybe more interested in the like the large map, the large matches. You know, where you have like 100 people on the map. You know, that would probably be more my. I could probably get into that more than say the small matches, 5 versus 5 or whatever. Because at least then, even if I died a lot, I could probably stay alive longer too and enjoy being out there on the battlefield, you know, because that's part of the, you know, that's part of the interest, right? Part of the fun, part of the immersion. You know, simply running out, getting headshotted, and then have to wait in the lobby or have to respawn 60 times. It's just not, I don't know, it just doesn't do anything for me, that's all. I mean, that's just it. I might want someone to play Darktide with me, if I'm saying that right. The Warhammer game. I want to see if I can get that. Who do we got coming on here? Elite Brazil. Brazil. Hi there, how you doing? What's up? Happy Thanksgiving. I died and have to go back and get my body. I'm surprised there's no Rex coming up here anymore. Maybe I should use a, oh, I don't have a gun. Was that a Rex? That I just heard? Oops, sorry. I'm turning up the volume here. Hope it doesn't crash the game. Yes, so pay attention to my community section of my YouTube channel. And Twitter too. Add me to your Twitter. I'm going to put up surveys to find out when you guys want me to get on and stream Hunter, Primal, or just in general stream so that you guys can check out my streams. You know, even if you just hop on and say hi, you know, add a like, you know, share it, you know, just your general support is appreciated and it helps a lot, you know. And again, you always have that, whatever it's called, a super like, you know. If you got $1, $1's fine. If God blessed you with more, then more is fine. I won't complain. But it certainly helps me convince my wife that it's worth streaming. Let me take off my banana suit here. Oop, there was a Rex. Yeah, I was right. Alright, let me get my stuff. He's coming. And there's Utah coming as well. Okay, let me get my APR, get my bow and arrow, get my other arrows, get my horn. Oh, I don't have a 50 caliber anymore, huh? Well, I guess I'll leave this here in case anybody needs any of it. It's not much, but... Oh, there's two. I think there's two. I think I heard a second one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's two. Oh, whoa, it's getting really choppy there. There he is. Do I have binoculars? No, I don't have binoculars. Come on. Come to Papa. You heard that, didn't you? That's a trike over there that probably killed me. Taking out your whole family now. What we got there? Am I not hitting it? Too high. I should have checked to see if it was a heavyweight. Crap. Still need the achievement on here. Pretty sure that I heard another Rex. Could be wrong, but I don't really have time to mess around now. Maybe there isn't a Rex. Kohaku! Happy Thanksgiving! I hope that all is well with you and your household. Although, I'm not sure if you still live at home or not. Hope your pappy's doing well. I haven't talked to him in a little while. Whoa, it's very choppy there. I guess you must be excited about Arc 2 coming out, huh? What's that other game called? I know that you're like with boyfriend now, but oh wow. That was light speed. Or maybe it wasn't light speed, because I guess I didn't know your personal life too much. Wow. Well, congratulations. That's good. There is a Rex over here. There, something. Congratulations. Let me see what I can find here for you. Let me see. Oops. There's a game called State of Decay 3 coming out, and I think it's going to be more. It's not going to be the same as the other State of Decay. Well, I mean, it's probably going to be similar, but it's going to have different kind of a play style or something, I think. Let me see what I can find here. Wow, they don't have it, huh? That's pretty messed up. Well, they're censoring everything, aren't they? Huh. Let me see here. Sorry. Wow, they don't even have like marriage on here or even boy-girl thing I was gonna add for you. Anyway, I'll give you a thumbs up. How's that? Sorry about the delay in the chat. when I was streaming the other uh, thing, the other game, they were, you know, porn. They were putting up the porn stuff, porn site, you know. Come look at my pictures. Come see my naked body. Come on. I got no stamina. There it is. Come on. It's funny, like you walk up on the rock and it's like they're blind. You know what I mean? Anyway, Arc 2 is coming out. I don't really know what that's about, or if it's going to be the same thing. Looks like the graphics are, well, hopefully better than the last one. Oh, missed. Oh, right in the vertebrae. Got him. Oh, got him again, right in the vertebrae. See if I can take him down with just vertebrae shots. Really? Don't go away. Come back here. Oh, more story-driven game? Yeah, the first one didn't really have much of a single-player aspect to it, did it? Oh, well, you know what I mean. You could do, like, whatever, build and stuff, but as far as the story goes, did it even have a story? Oh, this is not good. I'm putting myself... I don't really want to die right now because I gotta get going soon. So, when do you plan on having your 10 kids? You don't have to answer that. You get the story through the Explorer notes. Okay, I got you. Really? That's dumb. Just ran out of stamina. I don't like that kind of hunting. Whew. Although I guess that's a little more fun, I guess you could say. Even though your heart feels like it's about to burst out of your chest. Anyway, yeah, I think I gotta call it. Well, love y'all. Thanks for coming by. Nice talking to you, Kohaku. I wish I was on a little longer. But yeah, have a good Thanksgiving. Be safe. Don't get too crazy. Um, be good to yourself. Be good to others. All right? Peace. I gotta wait at like a 30 seconds to shut off the stream. Because sometimes YouTube cuts it off when I shut it down too quick. So if you're wondering why I'm sitting here. Yeah, me party? Nah, I gave up that a long time ago. My partying is hiking and getting out in nature. And gaming. Yeah, well, you know, I could definitely take drugs and justify it. You know, because historically, you know, I've I suffer from depression, I guess you could say. Um, whatever you want to call it, you know. I didn't have the best childhood, so that kind of sticks with me. So, you know, I could probably justify smoking pot, you know, and chilling, you know, to relax me. But, you know, I'm trying to just go it the natural route as much as possible. Still gets the best of me sometimes, but, you know, you got to take care of your body, you know, because when your body's out of whack, your brain is also out of whack, you know. So sometimes what you're doing to help yourself is hurting yourself too. So you got to kind of look at it both ways, you know, and find some kind of a balance, you know, and try to pick other things like for me, I go out, I like hiking, I like getting out in nature, play games, you know. I try to find other ways to manage my um, mental health, I guess is what you could say. Of course, my migraines, I have to take medicine for that because there's nothing that will take them away. I mean, when I get a migraine, it just stays forever. I mean, it kind of sucks, but that's just the way that is. All right, guys, take care. Have a good weekend.